So the rollout on this map is you just go straight right here, and then you come right again through rollout here, and then you go cargo. Usually your combo wants to go here. You don't really want to hang around behind this crate too much because like rollers and stickies just sort of fuck you up because you can't really see them coming and dodge them, and you don't have a lot of room to dodge. Usually it'll be like you're gonna be playing to cross point. So like your demos, gonna shoot these guys. Soldiers can high bomb off of this. Scouts walk forward. You just try and get across the point and just pinch on them there and kill whatever's weak. Some teams like to go right fast. I don't. But if and the reason is it's pretty easy to counter because if you just tank your demo right here and you have a soldier bomb like central point, you can kind of nuke them on this choke point. And there's not a lot if the soldier goes high that even a scout like right here could do. And you sort of just wipe them that way. You probably want to have a scout like or two on high ground because they usually they usually do have soldier bombs so that this is less easy to collapse on. But if you just have scouts catching the soldiers as you land as you're tanking your demo and your soldiers are bombing, like they pretty much wipe every time if you do it correctly. If you do want to take it fast into them because you don't think they'll punish it, like a scout around here, scout jumping onto this crate, demo walking up here, soldiers bombing fast, like one central, one can do a high bomb from like off this wall, jump here or like around here. You just want to go deep and you want to take it fast. This is no longer a rotational mid. In fact, I would argue it was never a rotational mid. People just didn't know how to play it. But like, if you rotate on this map and a team just takes central point, they have high ground on you and they just shit on you. So don't try and rotate. Yeah, it's not a rotational mid. Soldiers, you have a few things you can do. You can roll out lower fast. There's this pack here. Ideally, you want to be buffed and you like split from your meta around here, so you still have some of a buff. And then you can do like a high bomb off all these walls if you want. I've seen soldiers go here fast, and then you can like bait around the corner off of like someone calling for you because obviously you can't see, and then it's a blind bomb around the corner. They don't really see you coming that well. I've seen soldiers play underpoint, kind of like goalie wash. You can like threaten pressure through here late, or you can just jump from up top of point. You don't really want to be like shooting upwards directs at a scout here. So if a scout's fighting you kind of just have to leave. And yeah, just try not to eat the same spam. You can do pretty deep bombs off of this thing here. You can, I think, jump off of this wall and go kind of deep. Like do a jump here and then do a jump here and go deep. So yeah, it tends to be kind of bomb heavy. You can spam for a bit and you can play baitier with it and try and absorb the aggression as they walk across with your counter bombs. If you want to do a more passive mid, that's viable. But in general, it feels more like goalie wash mid in some ways than anything else. It's like goalie wash is actually very similar too, where you have their side mid that's very easy to counter, but if it catches them off, sometimes it can work. For medic, I would just be careful. Don't hang out around here. I played this in a pug and instantly learned that hanging out behind here is a bad idea. But you just keep your scouts healthy, make sure your demo's not dying. If the soldier can't get a pack and it's 100% safe to arrow him, you can arrow him. Otherwise, you just tell that guy to kind of go eat a dick and like, I'm healing people in a fight, and you just want to get forward. Like ideally you're healing your scout across point with your demo behind the scout, and like you're just shooting things together. You can have like scouts, jump over high ground so that if the soldiers are counter bombing you kill them as they're landing on you. But the faster you get forward, the less likely you die to the bombs on an aggro mid. I guess you could kind of have the soldier start here as well if you wanted to. I don't know why you would. You're just going to be weaker. for like no value, but you could do it. That's basically it for the mid fights. Besides just high ground equals good, and yeah, like for scout you're pretty much not going to be ratting under point that much. You can try it, but you're probably going to wipe to bombs if you do that. So like scouts usually like split up on these high grounds or whatever, jump on and off them so they don't eat all the spam.
If both enemy team scouts go on their crate, is there a way that could be punished easily?
Yeah, have a demo shoot and then have your soldiers bomb, or because they eat the same sticky. Or you can just like this left lane is free. You can bomb and land over here and like not immediately die because the scouts aren't able to deny you, right? So if you just land here, catch anyone out in this corner, it's kind of free.
Okay.
That's kind of why you want scouts to split up on different high grounds. Because if I'm a demo and I shoot a scout off height, I will always call which scout I'm shooting and like that lane is clear, so my soldier knows to bomb it. But yeah, another thing is like, yeah, you can just. I think even a soldier can like spam some rockets from here and like knock them off high ground. But this isn't the best place for soldier ammo because you want to preserve your health for a bomb.
And when it's time to like, if you've put a lot of pressure on the other team, and it's like you're called to go in as a scout, would it be best to path like just across the mid bridge, or is there another
Yeah,
time where you want to like go on the rock?
you can have like one scout go on the rock, or whatever, and just split up so you're not eating the same spam. You can have one scout like delay his walk up a bit on here, like help with bombs, and then walk forward like behind the medic, and just yeah, you do all want to get across, but at least one scout should probably walk your combo forward, yeah. Because if your demo just eats all of the damage in the world, it's like they focus him down and you can't really get across.
Hmm.
Because scout can dodge the spam, like demo can't.
When you talk about like bombing central point, are you just saying to like bomb anyone who's on the bridge and like if
Yeah,
no
and
one's there, like what do you do?
if it's a passive mid, you can bomb anyone that's on the bridge. Like you just played a counter bomb, basically. Like so you land on the combo that's walking forward.
Okay, so like we let them cross it first and then just bomb
Yeah,
them.
that's kind of how a passive mid works. It's similar to goalie wash in that regard, where you just like wait for them to walk into you, and then you mulch them on point and with your counter bombs, and have your scouts clean up the soldiers.
And then so for an aggressive mid, like would I
You
guess
just
the soldiers would initiate, like they'd bomb first and then the team marks
yeah,
across point.
yeah. You can also wait to bomb off damage and then go. But yeah, either works if you just want to go fast and deep. So, some bombs you can do go pretty deep. There's like one from lower if you want to like wait here. Then you have like one soldier high bombing off this, and then like one soldier from here, and it's like two different directions. It's kind of nice. You could have like one soldier, land like cargo or toxic here, and like one soldier land into them afterwards. That kind of thing.
And then like for if you want to be aggressive, like you're saying the soldier should keep their health up, but like as if you wait like any amount of time, like you're probably gonna lose your buff, right? Like you would
Uh
you just go in without a
Kinda,
buff?
yeah. If you want to go instantly and just go, that's fine. Another thing you can do is like spam one rocket at a time, reload, and as long as you're not eating spam, you can still bomb. Uh, but that's kind of if you want to bomb off the damage where the scouts are tagged by the demo, so that not being buffed doesn't matter as much, if that makes sense. Because if a scout takes like 50 or 80 or whatever from a demo sticky, like he's not going to be able to really deny you that well, because you can just kill him if he does.
Okay. And then as far as like prioritizing who you bomb, it's like whoever's damaged if you're going late, and then if it's early, like the demo or something.
Yeah.
Whoever's most
Demo
fair.
and med are the most common targets. You can bomb things that aren't demo med, like especially if you see like flank players alone. Like sometimes I'll have my demo shoot top left, for example, on Snakewater, and then I'll have my flank, like I'll have a soldier's bomb onto the flank top left, get those kills, and then like we walk forward. So it depends, but like just make sure you call it out and it's coordinated. I will say you guys are playing AM, right?
Yeah.
I don't expect a lot of medics will look up, so I do think it will be freer to just go for med every time. I would recommend not doing that because it's like not the best practice, and it's a good habit to learn as you climb the divs. That I don't just have to bomb med and demo, but they're still really good targets. It's just basically if you see someone weak, if someone's called that they're weak, if someone's isolated, or just whatever. If you want to land on demo because he's like nuking your combo, for example, when you're walking forward, that's good pressure. You can do that. It just depends. But I'd say the plan is more important than anything else. Like even if you don't have a specific reason, you can just call a target to land on.
I see.
For like a passive fold. So med usually leaves cargo. Like you just have your med and a scout here. You have someone spotting this. Like you can have a soldier here spamming, and you can get some good damage even from the crate. You can just you can spam all entrances from here. You can have a soldier on another high ground just again spamming. Like you get some deeper spam into here, and if they start walking this way, you can spam. Uh, Someone can bomb if the spam isn't working and doesn't get a force. Your demo should be kind of far back, waiting with the trap up, and also just spamming pipes. Lock and load is fucking hilarious on this map, by the way, because it's such a long sightline and literally everywhere. But rollers work as well. And you just want them to use, basically, while you get out. And you don't want to really lose more than one for the force. And you just want to buy time so that you either get Uber or you force them, and then you have Uber add to repush with. Flank Scout. The more important thing on Flank Scout, you're not really doing much on a leapfrog. You can spot, just make sure you're not dying. Basically it. Unless you're doing a flank rush, because that's another play. Sometimes if you kind of if you're spotting early and you see where their combo's coming from and there's only one guy on one entrance, some people will just have two soldiers and a scout rush that guy, kill them, and then start a back cap. That's another alternative to just spamming or sacking. Get the force. Uh, Dude, pushing into second. Pushing into second. I guess we'll talk about even Ubers first. I'll talk about holding mid even Ubers, actually. Someone needs to be spotting this right here. Someone needs to be spotting underpass. Because this is a very common spot for people to sack through. Especially in a counter sack, it needs to be watched, but in general, just have an eye on this door. Combo tends to play towards cargo here. Just because it's the best place to pressure through either way. And it's kind of easy for your flank just to sit here. If you get rushed, you can just jump back as a soldier or run back as a scout, and then your combo's right here. You can rotate and sticky off the door. The best place to pressure from for your sack is combo through cargo. You can kind of carpet this off, set a trap for yourself here, jump a soldier through. Maybe he lands behind the crate or something where he doesn't immediately die. He jumps out, and you can sack that soldier if you want, or you can have someone try and sack through underpass, for example. But yeah, you just want to pressure so that they're not all looking at the guy who's doing the sack. If you want, you can even two-man if your single sacks aren't working, in which case you probably just play on point and get ready to sort of trade on your demo and scout through the entrance, and you just have whatever flank member like spotting this here. So that, if they're coming lower, you can rotate in time to sticky this door.
What would be
make
an
them use
example
force.
of a sack play? If we have mid and we're holding mid, and we want to go
Yeah.
force them or something.
Yeah, so there's a few different things. You can try and bust someone through cargo is one. So like you can sack someone through, like buff up a soldier, have your demo and your scout, like you have your demo trap this up, have a scout maybe peek behind the soldier. He jumps through
Okay.
here. He can jump back if he wants to, so another soldier can sack from a different door, and he lives. He can try and like fight whoever's here, or like do another bomb and go behind. It really depends on what the soldier there is seeing and how contested he's getting. Another common place to bomb from is lower right here. You can like, if no one's spotting this especially, you can just get a good sack in through here. Sometimes it's probably a bit more consistent to come out wide and then do like a high bomb off this and get in. I kind of beefed it a bit, but you can like get pretty deep off of this wall here. Or even like this way, you can just, you can get anywhere. You can try and go behind, draw people back, or you can, and if you draw enough people back, your combo can peek and maybe push. Take some space for you to work the force, etc. Another thing you can do is if you see people playing deep in flank, especially like if they're inside toxic, you can kind of just have a soldier bomb this and a scout rush them, and you kill them every time. You can sort of bomb through this. It just kind of, you get fucked by a scout up here, so you might want to have someone shoot this off from lower. Like you can have a soldier peek this, spam this, and then someone can bomb through toxic. You can have like, if you wanted to sack a scout, maybe have them go on an off class, or like sack a scout and a soldier. You can have them run behind the soldier that's bombing. You can have a scout like wait to come up here while your soldier's landing, so like they're looking at your soldier and then your scout's coming in, that kind of thing.
Okay.
You're basically just making it so that your soldier doesn't immediately die to a sack, so he has the highest possible chance of like killing someone or like getting a force or something like that. Sometimes a medic just won't be forcible. Like if he's playing inside shutter, for example, you're not going to be forcing this guy, so just like kill anyone you can who's like close.
Well, what should you do if, like, say you're going lower for a sack and like they spot you? Like, would you just cancel at that point?
You can cancel, you can go anyway, or you can like say, I can't go, can you go to like your other player?
Okay.
And generally you don't want to like just sack without pressure, so it's kind of a low success rate. But I mean, sometimes you have to.
Yeah.
But yeah, in general, you can be like, all right, I have them looking at me. You can go to your other soldier, and then your other soldier who's on combo can just bomb through cargo, and he's already buffed, so like it works.
I see.
Uh, so for pushing into second, the best door to milk through is cargo. Uh, it's kind of the same way where it's the easiest door to pressure through. It's just the hardest for them to hold. Like a demo's going to be trapping this, but you can like, shoot the demo back, have your demo stick it. You can have a soldier jump through to like and land, behind that box is really good. Like pogo through here and just catch an arrow or whatever, have your combo walk in behind you, maybe do some of this, land up here, that kind of, oh, you can't land up there. Land on bats or something, that kind of thing. I will say, watch for this. This is a very funny hiding spot. It's right here.
Oh my gosh.
Just keep an eye on that. I don't know if the wall is thin enough that you can see through it if you have shadows on. I haven't seen enough people hide up here to really tell. but it is a thing. Otherwise, if you're not spotted, especially using through lower can be fucking devastating, and you can catch them out. If you're going toxic, you tend to have to pop through, just because you're at a low ground. You know, people are going to be on high ground killing you. So usually this is used through, bomb your demo, catch anyone you can. Combos should hold shutter, but they don't always. So if they're not holding shutter, especially, you can like threaten a wrap, maybe kill them, kill anyone who's caught in.
Is this pushing with ad?
Yeah, push with that. If you're pushing with numbers, it's a bit different. It becomes more like a sack where you have everyone peek different doorways and like just see if someone can get through to get the force. Ideally, you don't want to trade if they're holding close because that sort of buys time for them to get respawns. And if the trade goes wrong, suddenly they're in a position to push mid sometimes. So it's more consistent to work people in, like work your flank in off the picks you get if you're at player advantage. And then like sack late. Yeah, you know, another thing that's important is because a lot of people, when they're leapfrogging a point, will just sack a soldier, or just spam the shit out of a choke. Having your med bait with a demo trapping it is really fucking good. So like you have your soldier jump through, you have your scout kind of walking through behind him, and then they see a soldier bombing, you just like kill him. You like wait at the doorway and you just kill him and then walk forward. If you see no one sacking, you just like call the med through and the demo through, and you guys just walk up. That's kind of how you milk.
Okay, so very focusing on going out cargo when you have ad.
Yeah, if you want to, that's if you want to milk. If you don't want to milk, I mean, you can, lower is good, toxic's good. You can use through cargo as well, and you can like, especially if they're holding bats, using through cargo is pretty good because you can catch them. It's like one sticky, and then they're caught in this doorway. You know. So like spotting is also kind of important if you want to have your flank spot toxic before the push, or like if you want to, if you're a scout, you want to get buffed and you want to like spot around here, see where they're holding, that kind of thing. That's the more information you have, the better push you can call, because you know like where to go to catch them out basically ahead of time. You can kind of try and milk through lower if you come out this way, but it's again you're at low ground, you're gonna get spammed, you're gonna get bombed. So usually it's a pop through. You go wide. I think that's about it for pushing second with that. I guess I'll go into holding second with even Ubers first. It doesn't technically matter where combo holds, but I will say I really like having my demo cargo because it's the easiest door to pressure through, and demo's the best at locking doors out. Meds on even Ubers tend to play like around these different high grounds. Uh, Maybe towards bats, so you can bait a soldier bomb, that kind of thing on even Ubers. Scouts, high ground here is good. Soldier, just keep an eye on toxic, keep spamming it. Someone needs to be spotting lower though, and that's a common theme on this map. If no one's spotting lower, a guy gets in and gets your med. So like usually I'll have my scout like around here, again dancing around the high grounds. You can see if they're coming, especially from like bats. I think you can just see this shit from around here. You can like see if they're coming through the doors. For a counter sack, the best place to go through is lower, like sending a soldier lower. You don't have to, and if you do it every time, they're gonna know it's coming. But this is generally the most consistent door, because you have access to a high bomb here, and you can get kind of far sometimes without them spotting it if they're not like looking deep here. Like you could even, if they're spotting it like this, like you could even sneak up on them from this right side here, And then just like, yeah. You can like clear this guy coming and like get on him and just do a bomb, like go deep. I fucked up the C-tap. You can go deep here, allegedly. I kind of fucked up the jump, but yeah, you can like go behind, shit like that. You can also like the point of going behind there would be to draw people back, and then your combo can peek through whatever doorway is free based on who's back. Like say their combo turns around, that means your combo's like able to walk in and like kind of force them while they're turned away. If like a flank comes back to chase you, that means you can try and work some people through the flank and like get in for the force and just take as much space as you can. Otherwise it's just you counter sack. You want to go fast anyways, so like no matter what you do, go fast. You just try and usually go for the med, but if someone else is caught, and you trade for that guy, like that's pretty good because the pushing into mid 4v5 is or 5v4 is a lot better than pushing in 6v5 because that's basically one less door that's getting watched. It's kind of like how, I don't know if you're in a DM server, but like in a DM server, like 4v3 is a lot harder to deal with on the team of 3 than like 3v2 or 2v1. It just sort of it gets harder the fewer numbers there are. That's about it for holding even. Holding second disad, you almost always want your med to play leave shutter. Because if you play bats is a little bit better, but sometimes you get caught in this doorway. You can get caught by them going rollout and just nuking you. If you leave rollout, you can get caught by them landing bats sometimes if you're too slow. But like it's actually, yeah, rollout might be better than bats. But yeah, you just don't want to get caught. The default place though, med holds shutter. Demo has sticky traps, like certain places, two entrances traps. Soldiers on high ground, just spamming this, ready to bomb if the spam isn't working. You can just like, and then reload one and then get in. Or you can like just jump away and have your other soldier bomb it, that kind of thing. But you just want to create pressure, slow them down, and get a force. So you don't want to give up the ground for free. I've seen people, like a soldier can hold here and spam because he can jump back to shutter or bats or wherever and try and leave. If they bomb a demo, you're kind of fucked, but you're losing one to use through for them to use through at that point anyways. It's like not the worst trade. But yeah, spam, bomb, got a force, and get out without losing more than one. And ideally, you don't want to lose. You want to lose one earlier, on the second point, because if you don't have, they can kind of walk and dry off a pick into last sometimes. It depends on the point, but this one is pretty good for it. Are there any questions about that? Next, we'll talk about going lobby. I guess we'll talk about holding lobby even Ubers. It doesn't really matter as long as every door is being watched, who holds what. But you do want to eventually pressure for a sack. The best place for a soldier to sack from is like through main here. I fucked up the jump. You can do a jump off of this and go pretty deep. You can kind of speed shot through here, I think. Maybe. I'm not sure. I haven't played soldier on this map. But I think you could theoretically speed shot through here if we were goated. You can try and work someone like this far right side. Right tends to be pretty good to milk through. Or in like walk, it's kind of like 5 on process in that regard. Plays very similarly. The one thing you have to watch out is if there's a sniper. Sniper's really fucking good on this last point. Both attacking and defending. So like if your sacks aren't working, just try sniper. The sightlines are fucking stupid on this map. In the last. Like you can see a whole bunch of shit. You can sack kind of deep through here. I keep missing the rocket, but like you can go deep here. gun tends to be pretty easy to spam down on this map, actually. If it's right here in the bushes, it's spammable from far right. If it's like back here, it's also spammable from that same door. If it's on here, again, spammable from this door. If it's more central, your demo can spam it from main, like over this. You can just like shoot stickies around the point and then blind dead it. Yeah. If it's right here, for example, it's just peekable from main. This unironically might be the best gun spot, except that it doesn't really watch med. So if it's here, you just sack through left. Like you send a double sack, your scout just runs in, the gun looks at the scout, soldier bombs in, that med, you have soldier on the med. So like while gun is important on this map, I will say that like it's kind of easy to spam down. The best spots are like, I don't know, just mix it up a lot so it's not predictable, I guess. Right here might actually be the best. You can kind of spam it as demo from right here, but if they don't see it, it does watch a lot. It doesn't watch the med entirely. I just feel like this map is really good to sack on because the gun spots aren't overpowered, which is kind of nice. It's still good to have one because it like slows them down, it forces them to spam it, and if you keep moving it, you're a fucking nuisance, and they just don't know where it is. You can also experiment with just running heavy if sentry isn't working. I think I might try that and see if it works better, but sentry gun equals good on last, just in general. So it just denies sacks so well. Sniper on defense, very good. So yeah, just keep an eye on that. That's basically it for the sacks. So I guess we'll go over, unless someone has questions about the sack, we can go over pushing last.
And so where would you pressure for the sack?
Anywhere works. Demo can spam really well from here. You can like tank someone here and just have them peek this and like get some damage. You can have someone spotting right. You can't really, unless they're giving you space, you can't really walk through right. But if they are, this is a good door to spam from. If you need to spam a gun from here, just tank both soldiers in the doorway, like give them 300, then they walk to the doorway and just tank them, and they can just double spam down gun, and then sack right after it's down. But it doesn't really matter where you pressure from as long as the door is being pressured. If that makes sense.
I see.
You just want to split on the door. And it's also good to split on the doorways so they're not looking at the same one. Is that it for the sacks?
Yeah.
Okay, so I guess next is after you send a double sack, leave lobby, have someone spotting dungeon here. Like usually a scout will be on high ground and he can spot it. You can have like a soldier locking out, like roll out, and just demo trapping these. If you sack both soldiers, just have a scout spotting this. Demo watches these, have a scout spotting dungeon. Because anyone who sacks, even if you're down the soldier, when he gets in, like just dies to the two scouts on height. And if they come into you, you just fucking trade. Because they have to pop first as well, usually, because they're going through the doorway. So, yeah.
When we're on last and we got 6 alive, so the combo is gonna play like back right, so and
Usually
then
combo plays around here, yeah. Demo, you
okay,
can play more central if you want, so you can like rotate to doors and lock around. But yeah, usually you'll have a med play further back right. Your med can also kind of play central, I guess,
okay,
as long
and
as you can
if you
surf.
have
But this is high ground.
like, would it be worth it to still keep one scout up, or should both scouts off class?
If it's even, you can just have one scout off class if you want. You can have both if you want to run sniper, just because sniper is fucking annoying on this last. That like
Okay.
I don't, not even for just stalemate breaking potential. If you want, you can just have a sniper because it's fucking annoying to deal with. Like they have to worry about this sight line, they have to worry about this sight line. If you're back right, you're pretty safe and you can watch like almost everything. Like you can watch right, you can watch left here, or like you can watch the walk up from left. You know, you can come over here. You can just rotate around, and there's a lot of annoying sight lines for them to deal with. So they just have to keep an eye on where your sniper is. Holding Dishad. Sentry gun are pretty good. You know, just NG on last is good. The most common gun spot I've seen is like people will hide it in here, but I mean, there's nowhere in particular that you have to put it. This point is large enough, and you can cap on the back of it so that like your demo kind of has to use all 8 stickies, so he's not really going to be able to trap out an entrance. But I also don't think that matters as much when sniper is as strong as it is and can force them to use through every single doorway by just playing back at spawn. Heavy is good, you know, for the same reason it's good on Sunshine, it's good on every map. If you already have a gun, or if you're like want to swap to it after swapping off sniper after they use through, or if you want to, if your gun is destroyed, you want to come up heavy. Heavy's just good.
I think that the stream is paused right now, or it's like lagging out. Okay, yeah, I think I'm gonna stop trying to play Scout on last because
Ideally, neither of you have to. Did my Discord die?
you're back.
Yeah, for a bit.
At one point did it die?
You just showed us
I think
the
you're saying that
sentry
like
gun
sniper can switch off. Or...
in the
Yeah,
grass.
so heavy's good after, you know, you swap, or like if you just want to have like kind of a double gun strat going, you know. Heavy's good in post fights. If you're on soldier holding, if you're on demo, this point is so big, and you can cap like this back part here. You can literally cap on. It's like having 8 stickies is kind of important for point, but that doesn't matter as much. So you're not going to need a trap for them to have to use through anyways if you run a sniper, because sniper on this last is kind of oppressive. If you're on soldier, I mean, you can still spot where they're coming from back right here. If they use through right, you can just jump to the left, that kind of thing. If you're soldier on the left, you can see if they're coming through main. You can see if they're coming through left. You can maybe get some early spam into lobby and then just like jump away off one of these walls. You know, you can just get away from the Uber so that you don't die. You just want your soldiers ready to block point. My team has my roamer ready to block point by default, and if he can't go, he tells my pocket that he has to go. But yeah, you just want one soldier able to block point when you demo. That's the stickies. And that gives you your combo time to rotate through spawn away from the Uber. And yeah. You can kind of see if they're trapping off this door. And if you see that they're just rotating to the other side and crossing, you can stay here and come out. There's like a mind game with that. You can also, if you're having trouble with a combo crossing point and just mulching it in the spawn door every time, Pyro then becomes pretty decent for breaking through that, because you can just air blast your combo through the door. Yeah. It tends to be risky to do that, because if I even see one soldier who's caught out to the Uber, like even if we trade our entire Uber for that soldier, as long as we have space on last, we're in favor to win that push. So I would say it's very risky, but it can be done. If you see like someone trailing their Uber, a common play is for a soldier to jump behind the Uber and kill that guy who's trailing. It's like you can do that. It's generally more consistent to live and waste their time with off classes than to go for picks during the Uber. And for that reason, I wouldn't do it every time. But it's good to mix it up, I guess. Yeah.
All right.
It's just you also another thing to keep in mind is you're going to be weak, so you aren't going to be able to bomb point if you do that, right? So it is a lot of high risk to do that. So that's why it's not generally done as much. Plus, usually what teams do is they'll like Uber in one side, and then as they cross, they'll have their flank come in, and so it's like a pinch on the other side. So sometimes the flank just hangs back in like lobby for a bit as well. I think that's about it for holding this ad. Are there any questions? Okay.
I'm good.
So I guess we'll talk about Ubers. The best door to milk through is this far right door. That's if you know they don't have a sniper. If they do have a sniper, you're gonna have to pop through anyways, so you might as well just go top left and like bomb your demo, or go main and bomb your demo. You do want to spot ideally first if there's time. You know, get buffed up, but yeah. If you know where gun is, like if a gun is gonna deny a demo who's bombing, you can like lead on your scout, for example, top left, so the gun pins on him, and then your demo bombs, and you know you just kill the gun. For your Uber, you have a couple options. If they're staying next to your Uber, like if they're staying in front of you, obviously you just fucking kill them. Like if there are picks available, just get the picks. If you otherwise, you can use the tail end of your Uber to cross point and mulch them as they're coming out the opposite side of spawn, and like meet with your flank and crunch and get a bunch of kills here. The other thing you can do is Scout can like shoot a couple stickies off on the point if they're all in spawn. You just shoot a couple stickies off the point, and you play the cap. It's also helpful for a soldier when you're coming in. Anytime you come in as soldier, shoot one rocket at the point, and like knock the stickies, you know, away from your combo. You want to shoot like there's a sticky right here. You want to shoot like more towards here, so it goes that way if your scout's pressuring from left, that kind of thing. I can't tell you how many soldiers have shot a rocket at the middle of the point and the stickies blow back into their combo and kill the scout, but it happens more than you think. So yeah, just be careful about that. But yeah, you can edge cap as well, and the point of edging cap is you don't want to die for it ideally, but you like take the Uber off your scout, you reflash him, he jumps back, and your soldiers bomb whoever's blocking point, and you get kills that way. Or sometimes they're just slow and you can steal the cap in front of them. That's the essence of pushing last. Is usually you're gonna pop through. If you can milk, right door is the best. You can kind of go main, but you can't really stop a soldier from bombing you. So you just milk at whatever point you have to use, and then yeah, just go into them from there. Are there any questions about the last push? Okay, so pushing out of last. You generally want to have, like any other last, usually a soldier. A demo can also do it, but teams like to have demos in their Ubers now. You just have at least one soldier hang back, sometimes two. So you could have like a soldier. If you're a soldier right here, you can see all of last. You can see if they wrap through here, wrap through here, wrap through dungeon, or rush shutter. If he calls that he's getting rushed, your combo needs to turn around and just kill the guys rushing your flank. Your flank scout can also kind of like play buddy with your soldier and get in later, like kind of clear dungeon out and shit. Your other soldier can also hang back lobby or play to get through behind the combo or jump through another door or whatever, but at least one person needs to be watching lobby until you spot the players and you can call them through. If you know they have 6 up and there was a late spawn and you only see 5, for example, that guy's probably on spy. This guy should run back and stop a spy cap. So like counting players is really good. If you really think there's a spy, when you're pushing out. Like there was a super late spawn and they just wiped, but that guy's still up. You could just leave a soldier last. I don't generally like doing the newcomer AM patented strat of leaving a soldier on last because it kind of, especially if you're pushing off a player ad, you're effectively down one, right? Out of the fight is as good as dead, and that guy doesn't exist anymore. So it's much better to have him hang out lobby where he can get in fast if when like he's no longer needed to be watching shit. Usually you're gonna have to use through unless you get like, I would say unless you get 2 soldier picks or like a demo pick or something, you are always going to have to use through. If they're playing like not spotting dungeon at all, you can kind of pop through and catch them out sometimes. Even a soldier Uber is good through here because it's so short range. Uh, you can kind of pop through shutter, but this tends to be trapped and it's kind of easy to juggle you in this doorway, but you can do it. Otherwise, just using through bats or rollout tends to be best IMO. And you just want to lock out the doors, kill anyone you can, and like lock it down for a leapfrog if their med gets out. Any questions about pushing out of blast? Pushing out of blast on player advantage, it's like you just split up on the doorways, don't all peek the same entrance, have like, and you just try and get people through, basically. And take what you can for free. Ideally, you can even get a force without having to use if they have, or if the Ubers are even, you just get in and it's a dry fight and they can't really hold it without wiping. I guess next is pushing mid with ad, right? So using through here sometimes catches people out. It's a new map. I don't think every team is going to have one player holding it, or like one player holding it wide. So like you might be able to sneak through this far door and just come through underpass and then like pop around this corner and catch them off guard that way. Otherwise, you can kind of milk through toxic, as long as you get through this doorway. You can like you can like kind of try and shoot the stickies off here, have a soldier jump through, and you can get through behind him. And it's better. This is kind of the point you milk up to. A lot of the time you'll get forced here, but sometimes a soldier will bomb into you toxic, at which point you can have it sticky trapped and you like have your med, bait. There's some room to surf here. And you just kill them quickly and then try and get through. If you have to use through, I mean, forces happen. You can pop through here. If you're going cargo, sometimes you can milk through here. If they're not really playing close up enough, but a lot of the time you will get forced. But it's the same thing, right? You should have a soldier jump through, land somewhere he's not immediately going to die. Like he could even try and land here or something, and you get through behind him while they're looking at him. And yeah, if you see them caught, then you just like bomb use on your demo, have him land on like high ground somewhere so he doesn't immediately die, so that your scout catches up with your medic and scout speed, and you can get another flash, and you just kill whoever you can fast. When you do have mid, try and it's kind of rough. Stacking this point is really rough because you're at the slow ground, right? If a soldier bombs it, it's kind of an instant nuke. So it's really helpful to have the doors make sure they're locked out and like not have everyone stack. On this map in particular, for that reason. Usually you'll just want one scout capping, because if you hold a bunch of people on point, it's so easy for a soldier to just bomb in and kill them all. In fact, if you are a soldier and you see like ×6 on that point, just like bomb them. You probably at least trade for one kill, maybe a force or something. It's kind of disgusting. So that's just one thing you have to be careful about. Capping on this point is terrifying. The other day I was playing this map and I was on my phone while I was capping because I was playing Flank Scout and like they just killed me. It was like I didn't even have time to react. I don't think looking at it would have mattered if I weren't looking at my phone.
Yeah, even if you jump, it's like they're gonna just walk up so close if your team isn't watching or they just don't know where
Yeah.
everyone is.
Yeah, so that's why like getting to the doors to lock it out fast is really important on this mid. It's important usually in general if your Uber's not getting anything to like lock it down fast and set up for a leapfrog even before you cap. But yeah. You can maybe try milking through lower as well, actually. If there's not a lot of pressure on this door, it doesn't become the worst. Like, if no one's spotting this, you can get through, and you can, like, get up to this point without them seeing, at which point it becomes easier to bait out the soldier bomb. So you can kind of milk through underpass sometimes. It just depends on how deep they're spotting this. But, like, yeah, if you are spotting it, make sure, and you're the soldier, make sure you're, like, not just looking at this for that reason. Hiding spots, this cubby tends to be one, you know, the box here, under point, like the houses, to be pretty good. I've seen this bush work. Sometimes you can just, like, when leapfrogging, if you want to do a sack, this is a funny one to do. You just hide in this bush, and then you have your player spot for you, and then you just bomb over here. Hiding spots exist in lobby as well. I went over the one here. People sometimes hide in dungeon a lot, actually. This is one of the main spots you have to clear on this map, like this right here. People will hide back here sometimes as well. This is technically a hiding spot, but it's kind of a shitty one. And sometimes people will hide and roll out as well. You know, you just want to clear the doorways and stuff, check corners. If you want to learn to wall bug, there's theoretically one right here, but like I don't know why you would. Wait, did I just stand up here without a wall bug? No, I didn't. Okay. There was something there. Might have just done like weird wall bug there where I didn't actually press A and D. Yeah. But yeah, this is a fairly decent wall bug. It's like, I don't know why you wouldn't just hide here, but it is a wall bug you can do. Because you don't really go high enough for them to... Well, maybe. Let's see. Yeah, you don't really go high enough. Yeah. Yeah, you can do that as well. Just any slanted wall is a wall bug. Like, you can hide up here, for example. So, I mean, you should be clearing this and seeing that anyways, but, like, you could hide there. I don't expect you'll see a lot of soldiers who know how to do that in AM, but it is something to keep in mind. And then, yeah, this is another wall bug spot. You can't wall bug off these. They clipped it so that it's not wall buggable. See, it doesn't get stuck. This is also a hiding spot I've seen. Yeah. So, yeah, that's about it for hiding spots. Yeah,
So
just check
when would you
corners.
hide?
What was that?
When would you hide?
It tends to be more of a pug play, but hiding tends to be like good if you want to sneak around for a back cap or you want to go for a sneaky play on the med or something. That's where hiding is usually used. Uh, the number one use I would say of hiding is for back caps. The number two use is for going for a force. So it's kind of like clearing stickies, right? When you're looking around for the sticky traps, that's usually where you'll see hiders anyways.
All right.
I think that's about it, right? It's Reckoner.
Can you
Alright.
go through callouts just like one more time? Because I missed
Yeah.
earlier because I was asleep.
This is Toxic. This is Dungeon. This is Underpass / Lower. This is over here is Cargo. This is Bats, and this is Rollout because this is where you roll out through. You have Shutter over here. I've also heard it called Bamboo. That was more of a European thing. I haven't really heard anyone call it Bamboo in NA, but in Europe they called that Bamboo sometimes. This is just left, right, and main, basically.
Mhm.
Mid, I tend to call the building under house, so it can be like our house, their house.
When you call left or right on last, is it going to be from your perspective, or is there a fixed one people use?
So if you're holding last, it'll be from the perspective of looking towards lobby. It's like I'm holding last here. This is always going to be right. This is always going to be left. And if you're the attacking team, it's inverted. So like this is left and this is right. So it's always
Okay.
it's kind of that perspective, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Of attacking team looking at their last versus defending team looking into their lobby. And yeah, just dungeon, bats, rollout.
Mhm. I think you got it.
Yeah, that would be it. Are there any other questions before I?
I'm good.
Right. Yeah, that was a lengthy map talk, but there's a lot of information. So hopefully you digested some of it.
Yeah, thank you very much.
Thanks.
Yeah. It was a lot. Alrighty, I'm gonna go play video games. See you guys.
Goodbye.
See you.